All right, I am going to make some more of these fire starters. I mean, it's not my idea, it's not an original idea, it's just common sense. I made some, I don't know, over a year ago, and they work fantastically well. I still got a couple, but they are dwindling down because I've used them. But it's just everything that's all things flammable. You got some cotton, some fir needles, spruce, whatever. I got a little bit of flaky pine bark. I got some cedar bark. I got some pine needles. I got a little bit of this birch bark. I've got some thicker shavings here of some fat wood from the Oklahoma gasoline. Some from some other sticks that I've gotten, and then some Maya dust, some pine resin right here, and some Vicks Vapor Rub. Like I said, all things flammable. All I'm going to do is just cut it down and get it all ready and prepared up and everything. And then we're going to put it to use, and I'll show you what I do. I mean, it's simple, it's easy, it's fun to make. You know, like these things, like this, I usually cut them down to like toothpick size and just kind of get everything, you know, small, because it's going to go into some tins and things like that. It's easier just to break them by hand, but yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, just little sticks though, things that are catchable. They don't got to be any certain size. You know, you make them however you want. I'll have to keep it kind of small because, like I said, I'm going to put it into an Altoids tin and various things like that. So it's just different sizes. Now when it comes to this cedar bark, I like to kind of break it up because it's got a lot of fibers in it. You know, it's very fibrous. The break is here. It's got some good fibers in there, you know. And of course the dust and everything works good too. Let's get in my coffee. Break that up a little bit. Same goes with this pine bark. Basically all I'm doing is just, we're going to mash all this stuff together, you know. And then this fir pieces here from an old Christmas tree that I found on the side of the road. I don't have much of it left because I used a lot of it to get a fire going in the fireplace. Man, that stuff works great too. Sound like thunder rolling. It's starting up. Highly flammable. And that's really all we're doing, is just everything flammable. Everything that's used in fire starters. You know, a lot of us use birch bark, fat wood. These to make, you know, cotton balls and things like that. All right. So basically that's really it. And I just kind of mix it all together, you know. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna get this going. Get this stuff melted down first. Oh yeah, sticky work, I'll tell you that. Sticky. Cut it down a little. We want it to get. Of course, I will use this right here, my stirring stick. It is getting there. Now, Vicks Vapor Rub, petroleum jelly, any of it. I like to add some in there. Hasn't got to be a whole lot. A couple tablespoons maybe. Whoop. But like I said, all things flammable. Yep, better stick my glove on. Oh yeah. Very thin now. All right. Just shove it in there. Pull that off for a minute. Doesn't overflow on me to my glove and everything else. Simple, easy to do. I know a lot of people sell this stuff. Woo! Some thick on the vapor rub. I know a lot of people sell fire starters and stuff like that, but you know, if you got the access to do it, I mean, by all means, buy them, support them, all that stuff. But if you got the means to make the stuff, and maybe you're broke like me, you know, and don't have the money to buy them all the time, or maybe you need some and can't wait to get your order in or whatever, just make some. Plus it's fun, and you're learning a skill at the same time. You know what I mean? You're learning something, you know, by taking all the stuff that you've learned with other fire starters and just putting them together, you know, and just making a big old blob of mess. And I'll tell you what, it's awesome stuff. Because the other ones that I had, that I made, work great, and I still got a couple left. There's some of that birch bark in there. I'm missing some of that. There we go. And that's what you want it to look like. I mean, you want it to be thick, you know. And make sure you get all that resin and everything put through out there, you know, and all that. And once you take it off the heat, boy, it will start cooling down pretty quick. So you kind of want to, so what I like to do, get over here a little bit. All right, what I like to do, see, I've got a little bit of Maya dust in there, some very fine shavings. I'd also like to take some of this stuff, you know, whatever I have, and just kind of throw it in the bottom so it doesn't stick as much. It'll stick, and it will continue to stick, you know, even after I do this, but not as bad. All right. So you basically got a big old can of mess, you know. What I like to do is I like to pour it out into one of these, you know, and just kind of shut it. Throw some of this stuff on here too, a little dry. Just kind of shut it there. I got one of these. I can really hot. Not really. All right. It is kind of hot. Yeah. All right. Let's just pour a little bit in this one. It's smaller. Kind of shut it in there a little bit, just until it gets, you know, there we go. Now it's going to be a bitch to open, I guarantee it, but whatever, right? Okay. I'm going to pull all this stuff out right here. Oh, burn. It's hot. All right. But that's what we'll try to do, is get everything all cooled off a little bit. Let it sit. I could put this into a bigger tin if I wanted to. But what we'll do is we'll cut a part of it off after it cools down, and we'll demonstrate. All right, after it cools though, you know, it's pretty hard and crunchy and stuff like that, and you know, this stuff's still gonna stick in here. Still needs to like cool down a little bit, but I'm gonna leave that actually open. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it open, let it cool down where I can push that shut. You'll probably have to pry that out of there with a knife when you need to. What I like to do is after it cools down in the block, I will pry it out and then I'll cut it in like pieces, like 6 pieces, like just like boom boom, cut across and all that. Even made a little, wrapped it in some Maya dust stuff, shavings. But you know, you got this big, got a big chunk, so you can always just throw it in pieces of it, form it however you want, and everything like that. But look at that, right off. And like I said, everything flammable. And it will burn, and it will burn hot, and it will burn a long time. Also, being coated in resin with everything that you saw me put in there. And of course, you know, I can make some better ones. I can make them into balls or little pieces or whatever, but you know, that's up to you how you want to do it. Oh, better get my big pile away for it all ignites. But however you want to do it, those are just the ingredients that I use, you know, and it's all stuff that you can find, and you don't even have to use the Vicks Vapor Rub or any petroleum jelly. I like to add it because it's just partly, you know, something that is very flammable that we use when we make those cotton ball, petroleum jelly cotton balls. And I just like to throw everything together in there, just all of it. All of the stuff that's flammable that all of us like to use when we go outdoors for fire lighting and things like that. And it's something good to have in your pack. It's lightweight. It didn't even weigh hardly anything, you know, barely. But, you know, that's kind of it. So keep that away from there. But it's highly flammable. Highly flammable. And as you can see, I mean, it's just burning away. So it's got my stick on fire already just from touching it. But yeah, like I said, you can buy this stuff, you know, from places people make it, and they do a fancier job than I do, but the end result is still the same. But I'll by all means support those people. But if you want to make it yourself, it's something that you can have fun with doing and learn yourself. You know, just a skill to have. You know, it's not really anything, it's just putting it all together. And it doesn't take very long at all. So, just figured I'd pass that on. I've made some before, and I still have a few, and they work fantastically well. So, keep it heavy.